Now from the Weather Tracker TV Storm Studios, this is your weather today. Here's Chief Meteorologist William Cole.
All right, folks, here we go right out of the gate on this Hump Day Wednesday. Again, hopefully your Wednesday morning is starting well. A little bit less damp out there this morning compared to yesterday. Of course, for a lot of folks yesterday, especially from that I-35 corridor off to the east, it was a pretty wet day, right? We had some pretty thick drizzle around, a few showers around, and I tell you, today, even though we still have a 20% opportunity as we go through the afternoon, I think we're going to see some clearing, even as we get into the afternoon as well. So a little bit more in the way of sun, a little bit less in the way of drizzle and showery activity, but it's still going to be pretty humid. And with daytime highs today up in the lower 80s, it's going to be warm, it's going to be humid. It is going to feel like a more typical spring day here in North Texas. Again, all of that setting us up still for that opportunity of some severe weather the later we get into tomorrow, Thursday. I'm going to talk about that severe weather threat and the updated timeline. You're going to want to see this timeline because it has significantly changed as we've gone through the overnight. But this is where we started the morning, generally 60s. Again, it was a humid start to the morning, and again, it was still at least feeling pretty damp out the door as well. So looking at radar here, again, you can see truly across the southern plains, really not a whole lot going on. Again, there may still be an opportunity. It's not necessarily showing up on radar. Like I said, of some of that very fine drizzle out there, maybe a couple light showers. But again, by and large, compared to yesterday, today should be a fairly significantly different day across the area. But that will not last for very long because as we get into tomorrow, Thursday, the opportunities of showery activity and drizzle will be right back in the forecast. In fact, beginning tomorrow morning, and then of course we're watching and monitoring now very carefully this big upper level storm system, this bomb cyclone that's now moving through parts of California. That'll be ejecting out into the Great Plains, but the good news for us here in North Texas as far as the severe weather threat, the overall track of this storm is going to be further north up into parts of Oklahoma and into Kansas. There may be a better probability of severe weather there, but again, regardless, it'll still be moving through our area, bringing a dry line, bringing a cold front, kicking in the jet stream as well. This time of year, of course, we all know exactly what that means. Yes, it does mean an opportunity of severe weather. So the very latest from the Storm Prediction Center here. Again, you can see this area of red. I would probably also still go ahead and include our southeastern counties, but the biggest change overnight, it is going to be the timeline because the newest high-res data coming in is showing as we go through most of tomorrow afternoon, even most of tomorrow evening, other than showers around, other than some drizzle around, we do remain relatively quiet. It's not going to be until tomorrow, the way it looks right now, around midnight, that we do get thunderstorms to rapidly develop out to the west, and what develops out to the west will eventually come through the area, mainly through the overnight, Thursday night, early Friday morning, as a line of storms. But again, you can still see the black cores and even the pink showing up there, so there would be an opportunity of severe weather. The way it looks right now, hail and wind being the primary concern. But again, an isolated tornado warning, even when you're dealing with a line of storms, simply put, cannot be ruled out. But again, if you are making plans tomorrow, stay plugged into the weather, but it appears as though the timeline now is quite a bit later as we get into the day, and more so as we get into Thursday night. So as we go through this afternoon, though, kind of backing up in time, it's going to be warm, it's going to be humid. There's really no other way to put it, right? Daytime highs up in the 80s. Our western counties out around Breckenridge or even out around Graham there in Young County. Not impossible. We even push towards 90 by late day. Just putting on some green here. Like I mentioned, it's not impossible. We have a couple showers around, maybe a little bit of drizzle, but again, compared to what we saw yesterday, should be significantly less wet. That's a tongue twister around the area. As we head into our Wednesday evening, it'll also be milder. Temperatures will be easing down through the 70s. We'll call it a 20% opportunity, still even through the evening, of a stray shower, maybe a little bit of patchy drizzle, but generally dry. Overnight lows only down into the 60s, so it'll be another fairly mild, balmy start to our Thursday. Highs tomorrow pushing into the 80s, a few showers around tomorrow, maybe a little bit of drizzle, but again, warm, humid, and again, that will set us up mainly Thursday night into early Friday morning, an opportunity of rain and storms, sharply less humid as we get into Friday with plenty of sunshine. Highs still in the 70s. Friday appears to be a 5-star day. Heading into the weekend, highs still in the 70s. Maybe an opportunity for storms on Sunday. A bit of a question mark now on that. We'll track that carefully. Then you can see some 60s and some 70s as we push into next week with potentially another weather maker by the following Thursday. More coming up.